Yo, what's good with y'all? It's Key Major, and I'm back with another video for you guys today. Today, I'm showing you guys how to make some hard, unique samples for Wheezy. Just some samples that have a lot of bounce, a lot of rhythm, real unique. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to capture that in your samples today. Before we do get into the video, if you guys do want this sample right here, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. It's right down there on the bottom of the screen. Make sure you guys follow me and DM me, and I will send you guys, whoever does that, I'll just send you the sample, whoever wants it. But that's pretty much it. Let's get straight to the video. So this loop is very simple. I only use 3 sounds. So the first thing with these Wheezy melodies is they're a lot slower, or Wheezy type beats that are a lot slower. Or I usually go like 110, 120. And then yeah, the first sound I use is this Belle Celeste. And it's from the Equilibrium sound bank by Brian Mills and Scoo. The first thing I did with this is I went to the envelope and I turned the attack down and the release, and I turned the release up so it kind of has like a tail to it, and I played this melody right here. So yeah, it's very simple, but it has a lot of bounce and it's real catchy. So the first thing I did was I went up here and I went to the 1/3 step. So this whole thing is in triplets, so it's like the triplet bounce. The first thing I did was very simple, like I guess chords right here. Very simple, kind of just laying down the foundation, and then I added these filler notes right here to kind of add more bounce to it. So that's basically the main concept. Now to give it a lot more bounce, I added this top melody that is in between the notes. So it's not on top of the notes like this, making like a full chord. I kind of offset them in between. Now this is what really kind of gave that bounce and that rhythm, kind of offsetting the notes. And it's really just focusing on the placement of the notes and where you're actually like putting them. So like I said, everything's in 1/3 step and the triplet bounce, and it just really focused on like the placement of the notes and like where you're actually like putting the notes and stuff. The last thing I did to really also help capture rhythm is Alt R, turn them as a velocity. Instead of kind of having everything at one volume, one steady volume, kind of doing Alt R and having like the volumes kind of like bounce, just helps add a lot more bounce to the melody as well. For the effects are very simple. The first thing I did was I added ambience reverb. This is a free reverb. All I did was I loaded it up and I turned the mix down, and then I added delay too. This was also to give it more bounce. The reverb was so it wasn't so dry, because the one shot was so dry, but the delay 2 was to give it more bounce. So what I did here was I turned the time down to 2, so it's a very like fast delay. And I turned the pan to ping pong, and I turned it left, so it's kind of like bouncing left and right. And then I turned the volume down so it wasn't so loud. So that kind of just gave it a little more bounce, having the notes bounce left and right. I'm saying bounce a lot right now. Then I put an EQ on here. This is basically just cutting out all the lows and then raising the highs. But this one shot specifically had a lot of like mids in it, so that's why I took this yellow one and I ducked it down a lot, because there's a lot of mids. So after that, what I did was I went down here and I clicked on this little arrow right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Yeah. And what this did is it kind of just put it into another mixer track, so it's on 2 now. So on this one, I put gross speed and I put the double speed. This is what kind of gave it that second layer. That's a lot faster because it is double the speed and it is an octave higher. And that's basically it. Just reverb again, then an EQ. So it's kind of like filtering out the sound, and this is how it sounds after the effects. So after that, I added this second one shot flute little, and it's from the exact same kit. This is how it sounds. So for this one, it's the exact same pattern and the exact same effects, so it has everything the same, it's just a different sound. So yeah, really not much to explain. It's the exact same notes. All it is just layering. Since the first sound covered a lot of the high end, I wanted a sound to cover more of the mids. So that's why I added this pad right here. Or it's a flute, but it sounded like a pad to me. And yeah, like I said, it has the exact same effect. So we'll go on to the next sound. The last sound I added was this bass called the Coliseum. It's just a very simple Reese bass. This is from the Cypher multi-kit by my boy Lucy. And all it is just the root note, which is A, and then I just added a lot more variation. I just put an octave up for the first half, and the second half it goes an octave lower. And then this is just like transition notes. Quick little tip for your synth bass to kind of transition into each other a lot better is I go to the wrench tool, and I go here to the poly, and I put the Porta on max 1, and then I turn the slide up. This slide is whatever you want it, like how much you want it to slide, but basically what this does is it allows the notes to kind of glide into each other. But that was basically it. On the master, all I put was a fruity limiter to raise the volume. I turn it up a lot. If you guys realized, a lot of people make their loops in like a full 8 or 9 bar loop, whatever. But for this one specifically, I only did 4 bars, so only half of it. It basically allowed me to kind of chop up the sample a little bit more and kind of have like mini switch ups and stuff. And then I forgot to mention this automation clip right here is a second effect chain that has like the grow speed that makes it go like double the speed. So yeah, I didn't want the loop to be like extremely repetitive, so throughout the loop I kind of like took that effect off, and this is how it sounded. And the stems, of course. But yeah, that's basically it. Very simple melody. Kind of how to capture bounce in your melody is just use like the triplet bounce. Use growth speed. You could either put the halftime on it, or you can put the double the speed. You could even export this and reverse it. You can export it, manipulate it, put it in Fruity Slicer. There's so much endless things you could do, so many endless combinations to be unique, stand out, give your samples some sauce, and just like some bounce in general. But that's basically it. If you guys do want this sample, oh yeah, I forgot to play it. Here's the final sample. Yeah, it's basically the whole sample. Very simple. If you guys do want this sample right here, right at the bottom of the screen, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and DM me, and I'll send you this loop right here. Lastly, it's very important you guys follow me on Instagram because I'm gonna be going live on this channel very soon. If you guys want to be first and always be notified, I will always announce it on my Instagram. And I appreciate you guys for all the support. Now that I finally got the webcam and I finally got my mic back, I'm gonna start uploading a lot more consistency. Oh my god, a lot more consistently. Do me a favor, make sure you guys always go to the comment section and give me ideas, whatever you guys want to see. That's basically it. I really appreciate you guys all for support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.